as a part of Alumni Experience Series, we have with us today Mr. Bhattacharya, who is the chairman of NITIE Alumni Association. Dev has over 38 years of corporate and entrepreneurial experience in sectors such as finance, power, media, BPO and IT, and strategy, and is currently the Group Executive President and Business Head of New Ventures of the Aditya Birla Group. Welcome, Dev, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Upasna. Thank you for having me.
Dev, my first question to you is, so how has NITIE contributed to your professional journey?
Okay. NITIE has, changed perspective, if I may say so. So during my engineering, I probably learned about engines and power plants and bridges and structures, and probably was looking for a job that would allow me to work with these things and create something or the other.
Right.
But once you came to NITIE, I think the perspective changed. You asked questions. Why do these bridges need to be there? What is the economy of bridges? What is the option to internal combustion engine? Why does a factory get set up this way? Can it be done in any other way? So these are the questions that you ask when you step back and look at the whole thing in a different and a larger perspective. I think that change in perspective is what NITIE brought to me. And that kind of changed the direction of my career.
Change in perspective is what NITIE gave you. Great.
Right.
And what have been some of your fond memories of NITIE? What do you recall and cherish?
Lots of memories. I think first of all, the most impressionable issue was when we landed in NITIE, the greenery and the beauty and the quietness and Bihar Lake, obviously.
Right.
And it was very idyllic, in many ways. Although I come from a small town, so it's not that it was a huge transition for me. But what I was expecting in Bombay and what I got in NITIE, first of all, was very different. Secondly, I think the quality of interactions we had with our faculty members was very different from what I had in my engineering. In engineering college, you generally avoid meeting your faculty members unless you absolutely have to or are compelled to. Here, we used to meet very informally and often, and faculty members would come into our hostel, would have breakfast with us, lunch with us, play bridge, and sometimes even sing, and all kinds of things. So I think that was a very different experience for me when we first came in. Then, of course, the single rooms. You have your own individual rooms with attached bathroom. That was like a 5-star transition from engineering college.
Right.
So other than that, of course, I would like to talk about some of the things that we learned in NITIE and why these perspectives changed. It's because of the people, the quality of faculty. And it may be unfair to take some names and not take the others. But invariably, when you think back, who are the people that you would like to still interact with and would like to meet, it is the names of those professors that come to mind every time.
Yeah. Okay. So, any specific incidents that you recall of, any mischievous incidents?
So Dr. S.P. Datta, I must tell you. So he was the one who interviewed me in Kolkata when I was shortlisted and interviewed. And he saw me in the campus when I actually came and joined. And he said, "Do I know you?" I said, "Sir, yes, you interviewed me." He said, "Oh, you're out to change the world?" I said, "Kind of, I didn't say that." He said, "No, it's a good idea. Everybody comes here to try and change the world. You can do too, but get a haircut first." So first one, don't look at me now and wonder whether I really need a haircut. Then I did. So that was my first interaction with this, which I won't forget. And then, of course, there were Professor Chakravarti, who taught us statistical quality control. And his examples were always live examples. So he never stuck to us, an academic structure for his lessons. He always took it to a real life example, whether it's to do with people at a railway station or what you can see in Paspoli village, and is that indicative of what Indian economy is? All you understand what the point is. So people like that, they influenced us a lot. And there was Professor Rajan Mehrotra, and Professor Rajan Mehrotra, he taught us about national competitiveness and international competitiveness. We never thought that we would ever get embroiled in issues like that. But he would invariably pick at me, okay, you're making a presentation, Bhattacharya? This is where he would invariably catch me unprepared. But we have become now great friends. We have been traveling all over the world. Many years ago, we did that. We both were working for International Labour Organization, and we would go and give lectures, hold programs. And I remember we spending a night in a small village in Kuantan in Malaysia, where the turtles came on land, and we were crouching to watch the turtles. And I thought, oh, this is the Rajan Mehrotra who used to pull me up in class, and this is what we are doing now. So, these are great memories.
Right, very interesting, Dev. Dev, you're one of our distinguished alums and been an inspiring figure as well. What advice would you like to give to current and students who are looking at a postgraduate management degree to live a fulfilling, happy, and a successful life?
That's a very challenging question, Upasna. So, there are too many things that one wants to talk about, knowing that one has spent 38, 40 years in corporate life and seen different parts of the world, and from corporations to NGOs to teaching to doing films. I have done a whole lot of things, so experiences are multifarious. But I think one thing that I would like to tell everyone is that in your life, always have a goal and a vision in your horizon, which is bigger than yourself. And whatever you do, it is not just for yourself fulfillment or self aggrandizement, if that's it can be taken positively. I would always urge you to look at something that is larger than you, a canvas that is larger, canvas that is going to make a difference. And that is one thing that you need to do. Second thing is, don't worry too much of what will happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, especially in the situation that we are in today. If you make a plan, sure, make a plan, but work on what you can do today of that plan. Don't worry about what you can do 1 year from now, 2 years from now. The fact that when I get a house, I will do this, or when I get so much money, I'll do this. Whatever you can do with whatever you have today is the only relevant thing. And get involved in that, get real about it, and think about what will happen year or 6 months from now when you get there. I think that's more relevant use of your time. So other than that, of course, I tell people nowadays, it's going to be very difficult and a very, very challenging situation for the next couple of years, considering that, corporate behaviors, individual behaviors, societal behaviors are going to change and are seeing change, So in that kind of situation, the only thing that you really need is presence, the ability to think on your feet, the ability to be agile, the ability to be flexible, and don't get stuck with preformed notions of this is the kind of job I'll do, this is the amount of money that I need in order to accept a job, or this is the kind of profile of assignment that I will get involved in. Open up your mind and be flexible. You might have to do things on your own. You might have to design things to do on your own. So this is the world that we are transitioning into, and be prepared for it. If things get back to absolute normal like the way it was, great. But the chances are it won't. And that is what you have to keep in mind.
Very, very, very well said. I think what you're talking about is presentism and nonsense-centeredness. Thank you very much, Dev. That's been a very, very insightful discussion with you. Very grateful to you. Look forward to meeting you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Upasna. Thank you very much.